So far 2025 has not been my favorite year of all time. There's been a lot of bad stuff. Feels a bit like the world is regressing. So I think sometimes it's nice to throw in something light and happy and positive. So today we're going to be looking at some autism memes. So I'll be reviewing some more memes from my Discord server, which is attached to my Patreon. We have a Neurospicy Memes channel where you can submit your memes for potential review. I will rate them out of 10. Let's have a look. Let's see how relatable the autism memes are today. It's not that I think I'm too smart to ever get sucked into a cult. It's more that I know I am unwilling to participate in anything, even resembling a group project under any circumstances. Yes. This is so true. A bit too contrarian maybe sometimes as well to be sucked into the cult. Yeah, group projects for me I've always just been my worst nightmare. But luckily, I often had quite good relationships with the teachers, so I was able to get an accidental accommodation and do the project myself. Often I would go to them and like kind of say, please, can I do this on my own? And they knew that I was kind of quite self-motivated and would probably get on with it. But there were certainly times where there was no way out of it and I was stuck doing the group project. And usually I just kind of fade into the background and struggle to express my ideas and get them across, or I'd try and put them across and I'd be told that my ideas were terrible and everyone would just go on doing the thing that they wanted to do, and then at the end they'd turn around and be like, you didn't contribute very much. I was like, I was there, I was here, you just didn't notice me the whole time. You didn't give me anything to do. So it was kind of like all or nothing. Either I did the whole thing myself or I just kind of like faded into the background of the group. Everyone pretended I wasn't there. Not fun. There's a lot of hoops. I'm seeing a lot of hoops. Why are there a lot of hoops? Let's find out. I see your diagnosis states you have difficulty jumping through hoops. If you could just jump through these to get over there, we might be able to give you some help. Oh no, there's this little person in pink and they've got all these hoops ahead of them, and then there's an arrow that says help with hoops this way. So in order to get help with the hoops, you have to first be able to go through the hoops. Very, very true. Particularly, I think of like the NHS, the National Health Service in the UK. It just often feels like if you want to get help with your mental health, or say with ADHD, for example, maybe you really, really struggle with paperwork, or maybe you're depressed and it's really, really hard for you to motivate yourself to then call your GP. In the UK, it's very, very hard to make an appointment with your GP. You usually have to be up at 8 o'clock as soon as the surgery opens and press call, and then call them up, and then you might be on hold while they speak to 60 other people, and then by the time they get to you, they might be like, oh, sorry, we don't have appointments today, you'll have to call again tomorrow. It takes quite a lot of persistence and motivation sometimes to have success with the healthcare system, to successfully be treated, to receive care in this country. And if you're not in a place of motivation, I will persevere, I will push through at all costs. And you know, if you have a job and other things going on in your life, like you're trying to get your child ready for school in the morning, you know, it's not easy. They don't make it super easy. And there's just so much admin involved in having a health issue seen to every time I've had an issue that needs resolving. It's taken a lot of persistence, a lot of trying again, a lot of frustration, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of paperwork. And if you're somebody who struggles with all of those things, it's really difficult. And I feel like a lot of people will probably just give up. There's certainly things that I've just put up with for way longer than I should have done, because it just takes so much effort. And if you don't have the time to make seeking healthcare basically your full-time job, which most people don't, it's just, yeah, you're just probably not going to get the care you need. This is so true. I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. Because it is really true. It's not funny though, it's just sad, unfortunately. Okay, what is going on? Naughty autists get put in the sensory nightmare collar. Oh, it's all tags. Oh, this just stresses me out. Is that one a Miss Selfridge tag there? It does look like a torture device. That's horrible. I'm gonna give that one a horrific out of 10. That must be deleted from the internet, scrubbed from the internet immediately. I'm actually usually not that bothered by tags most of the time, which is funny because I have a lot of sensory sensitivities, but just not really that one. I tend to be quite specific about what clothes I wear. Like I always immediately when I get home, I'll put pajamas on. Just live as much as I can in pajamas, and I have to have like the softest pajamas I can find, and I spend most of my time in them. One thing that has happened recently though is 2 of my pajama tops, the tag on them at the top has become unbearable. It feels like sandpaper, and it's not all of my pajamas, it's just these 2 specific tops, and I don't know why. I look at it and I can't see anything. different about it. It looks the same. I don't see any, structural damage to the tag. So why is it, there must be something, there's obviously some reason, why is it bothering me? I have a bit of a perfectionist thing of wanting to keep things nice and in good condition, and to me, I feel kind of like I'm ruining something by removing the tag. If it was someone else, I'd be like, oh, just remove it and be comfortable, it's fine. But when it's me, I'm like, oh, I must leave on tag, otherwise it has, been ruined forever. So far, I just kind of been putting up with it. There's a horse. Me. Wow, I'm so hungry. Horse, nervously. How hungry? Oh, because I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. That's why. He does look really scared. Oh, poor thing. We won't eat you, Mr. Horse. It's okay. You can continue to live. I'll give that one, it's okay, Mr. Horse, out of 10. This has been posted by Snail is Wired. The mascot of my Patreon is a snail. I refer to people on my Patreon as Patreon snails. So, I don't know, Snail is Wired. Growing up neurodivergent is just, why are you doing that? It's weird. That was me in primary school, and it's like, it was unnerving because I had no idea what they were talking about. They'd just look at me, kind of look me up and down and be like, you're weird. And I wouldn't know why. I was like, what did I do? I needed someone to be like filming my interaction so I could watch it back and then find out. I still don't know. I still don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was slapping my hands, fidgeting. Maybe my expression looked funny. Maybe the way my voice sounded. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Something autistic. I was doing something autistic, but I don't know what it was. The way you laugh is weird. Yes. I got called out for laughing too much as well, because it's kind of a masking thing for me to laugh. I've even had comments on videos telling me that I giggle too much and it's annoying and things like that. But whatever, you're always going to do something to annoy somebody. But I used to laugh a lot, particularly in high school when I was just kind of hoping that people wouldn't be picking on me that day. So if people were saying something that wasn't about me, or even if they were laughing at my expense, I'd like try and laugh along with it to soften the blow. Like, yes, it is so funny that you just called me a rat. That's really hilarious. Thank you for that. Oh yes, it is funny that you think I have rather a lot of spots on my face. That is truly hilarious. Yeah, but then there were some times where people thought I was laughing at them and misunderstood. And I actually had a huge falling out, a huge misunderstanding with one of my driving instructors. I went through 3 driving instructors when learning to drive, and I laughed a lot because I was very, very nervous, and he took that as me kind of being careless and not taking it seriously, being like a silly, giggly girl, I suppose. I don't know, he really seemed to hate teenagers. I think that was part of the problem. So it wasn't really me who was the problem. It was him, okay? But anyway, that full story will be over on Patreon. I'm going to be doing a podcast episode with my husband. He's neurotypical, talking about our driving experiences, neurotypical versus autistic. There's a load of podcast episodes on there if you haven't seen them already, including I've got 2 with my mum as well. Everyone seems to really like my mum's voice. They say she's like ASMR. Hopefully we can get her on the channel at some point, but for now she's happy to be kind of, behind the paywall. She's a bit shy, but to be on the channel, to be on camera, but maybe one day. The way you dress is weird. Well, we had school uniforms, but actually, like, part of the thing in the UK is like we have school uniforms so people don't feel pressure to buy expensive clothing, I suppose. It doesn't get kind of competitive. And then also so there isn't, I guess, bullying for what people wear. Maybe if they're not wearing something that's super trendy or that kind of thing, we're all just wearing the same thing. But because you're all wearing the same thing, there becomes like these expectations of like you have to have your tie like this. Everyone wanted the fattest, shortest ties. I wonder if this is universal and happens in other countries as well. So it was expected that you'd have this little stumpy, short tie and then like not tuck in your skirts. You had to have them as short as possible. Obviously, teachers wouldn't allow those things, so you'd have to dress one way to impress the other students, but then that was against the kind of uniform code, so then you could get in trouble for that. So yeah, I don't know, it felt really political the way you do your uniform. Basically, it felt like there was a lot of pressure to still dress a certain way. I kind of always, outside of school, kind of express myself with my clothing, and by wearing makeup and stuff, it kind of does some of the masking work for you. I think Morgan Foley made a video recently, which I haven't actually seen. I should watch that one, about masking through femininity. Very, very much what I did. So to not really have that shield at school, to not be allowed to wear any makeup, to not be allowed to dress the way that I wanted, was quite frustrating. And I think maybe it could have helped a little bit. And when I was 16, I went to a college where I could wear my own clothes. And I think that did make quite a big difference. When you're somebody who's quite quiet and finds it difficult to express themselves, it's like you can already maybe express a little bit of your personality before you've even started talking to somebody. And doing that also has some downsides because I often put a lot of pressure on myself to try and make myself, you know, look a certain way and put a lot of effort into getting ready and get quite stressed if I go out without makeup on and stuff like that, and it becomes a bit perfectionist and not great. Why does your face look like that? Why aren't you happy with my gift? Oh yeah, we've got a whole video about that one. We've got a whole video about that one. Why don't you talk more? I've had this one, and it's really frustrating because sometimes you really want to as a quiet person and you just can't quite push the words out. The worst thing is, like, when I went to college, I did this kind of reinvention thing where I was going to try and be an extrovert. I didn't want anyone to see me as shy. And then within like the first couple of days, there was this girl who I thought the way she dressed was really, really cool. And I really wanted to be friends with her. And we did kind of make friends for a bit. And then she actually left the college. So she said to me like, oh, you're so shy. And like kind of in this quite infantilizing way within like the first hour or so of us interacting. And I was like, oh, great. I've been trying my best to put across this like extroverted image and it's clearly not working. And yeah, it's just sometimes I think there is a bit of infantilization with quiet and shy people, like an assumption that because you're not speaking, maybe there's not a lot going on in your brain, you don't have thoughts. I don't know. I feel like that was the way I was treated quite a lot, particularly in high school, because I was very withdrawn, basically internalized as much of my personality as I could, just laughed, giggled my way through hard times. It's hard to imagine that you went into high school every day. That sounds like hell. How did you manage that? Well done, I suppose. Well done to all of us who got through high school. I dropped out of education when I was 17, but you know, I got through UK high school. Why do you talk so much? I think most of the time I just don't speak, but there have been times when I am drunk, I tend to monologue. That's when the monologuing comes out. And I remember this one time, there was this guy who I'd just met at this gathering. I can't remember what his name was. And I remember telling him my entire birth story in detail. And looking back now, I'm like, he did not want to know that. And I think he ran away at the first opportunity that he could, but I just didn't stop talking. I didn't notice. I think particularly when I've had alcohol, I get very stuck on a track of just speaking and I don't stop. Whereas usually when I'm sober, I just try my best to not say too much unless I'm around people who I'm very comfortable with, or unless I'm on YouTube, and then I talk way too much and give myself 3 hours of footage to try and cut down into something that's like a suitable video, like, you're annoying. I probably did get that one at some point. And then as an adult, why are you always worried about what people think of you? Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. It's so hard with the social anxiety stuff when you kind of were picked on or when people have historically made negative assumptions about you. It's very, very hard to just get over that. And I think that's why a lot of people feel like cognitive behavioral therapy doesn't massively work for autistic people, specifically to do with social anxiety, because, you know, you're supposed to have a thought, maybe you have a thought of like, people don't tend to like me. And then with cognitive behavioral therapy, you sometimes think of like evidence for and against that thought. And as an autistic person, you might have quite a lot of examples and evidence for that. And then it's like, okay, where do you go from there? Even though the social anxiety is still there for me, I have found though, as an adult, most people are kinda give more grace, are more understanding, more accepting of weirdness, I suppose. I think when you're at school, everyone doesn't want to be there and there's a lot of hormones flying around and it's just a very intense environment. Outside of that environment, I find most of the time that people, you know, tend to be pretty nice overall. Maybe I've just been lucky with the people I'm surrounded with. I know obviously people do have bullying in the workplace and stuff like that, and that's awful and you do not deserve that. I'll rate that one a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like I always rate things 7 out of 10, but I'm adding a 0.5 and that makes a difference. Spock's tweeting now, or Xing, or threading, or blue skying. I did not miss that social cue. I just thought it was stupid. Oh my god. And then the response is, alternatively, I didn't miss the implication you're making. I just want you to directly tell me what you want. I wish we could all just have super direct communication about how we were feeling in a particular moment. When I'm around people I'm very comfortable with, I will ask them, are you okay? What does that facial expression mean? Is one of my favorite things to say. I'm somebody who I would say probably that I don't struggle with social cues that much. I tend to, because I'm quite detail focused, I think a lot of autistic people are, I tend to, you know, notice shifts in people's expression quite quickly, and I think I'm okay at deducing what it means. But then, I don't know, is that true? Because when I'm at home with Lewis, I notice like little flickers. They feel like little flickers of changes in his face and stuff. And I'm like, what does that mean? Are you okay? I kind of like need to know. I get anxious about it. It makes me sound really annoying. See, I am being so annoying, like on the last meme. No, but I just sometimes need to hear in direct plain language how you are feeling. Is everything all right in this moment? With somebody I'm super close with, I don't want to like try and decode what I think their face did, but then get it wrong. Like I'd rather hear exactly from them, like, oh, I say something and maybe they look a bit unsure. I want to directly ask them like, oh, you looked a bit unsure then. Is that okay? Is everything all right? I would rather not guess, because I think no matter how good at reading social cues you are or how good you think you are, there will probably always be times when you're wrong, when you've misinterpreted things. Like I've misinterpreted things before. I remember there was one time when my dad kind of looked a bit upset by something that I'd said, and I thought, oh my god, I shouldn't have said that, and my heart sunk and I felt really stressed about it. So I wrote to him afterwards and said, oh, I'm sorry that I said that, you looked upset. I can't remember what it was. But then he came back to me and he was like, oh no, I didn't even hear what you said properly, my ear's been messed up. So he was like frowning because he was straining to hear what I was saying. So sometimes it is just nice to clarify and have everybody know exactly where they stand. Yeah, I think a lot of people could learn something from autistic direct communication, and for directness to maybe not always be seen as rudeness. Like I understand, you know, we do want to be kind and make sure we don't hurt anybody's feelings. I definitely see value in that. But also it's really horrible if you're walking around thinking someone's upset with you and they're actually not. They were just thinking about what they were going to have for dinner or something, and you just mistook what they were doing with their face. I think neurotypical people get themselves into misunderstandings all of the time. I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. I hope that that's okay. This is cute. It's like an angry pigeon born to be silly, but I'm mad at the government. I guess you can do both at the same time. That's kind of memes in themselves, isn't it? Often it can be being silly about the government. This is highly relatable. This is like we all just want to be, you know, chilling out, having a good time. But at the moment, you've got to be constantly mad at the government, and in the UK, fearful of who may be in power in the future and what they're going to do. I mean, just like every day you wake up and it's like, what now? What now? I'm awake, now what? 10 out of 10. That pigeon's very cute, and he does look very mad at the government. Oh, this one looks so cute. It's a Salvanian family. Has he got a bottle of sparkling water? I wake up. I dress incorrectly in relation to the weather. Yes, yes, yes. So the UK, as you're getting into summer, you don't trust it. You have no idea what to wear. I guess it's probably best to do layers and then take them off as you go. I don't know. It can be 30 degrees one day and then 18 and raining the next day. I always get out my summer wardrobe way too early, and then I have to start pulling jumpers back out of the winter ones, because you forget that it never really gets to summer in the UK, or if it does, it's like a couple of days. There is something wrong with me. I'm so confused. This has just gone to there is something wrong with me. I wake up, I dress incorrectly in relation to the weather, then we just jumped immediately to there is something wrong with me. Rabbit, that seems like a bit of a leap. I think you're okay. He looks really well dressed as well. Is he wearing gloves? Maybe he's wearing a bit too much. He's gone for like hood, jacket, gloves. Maybe spending $35 on things I don't need will help, and then I wake up. What's it got to do with the way he dressed? I'm so lost. Did he have to buy $35 on clothes? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm gonna give that an I'm confused out of 10, but I appreciate the Salvanian family. It definitely gets points for that. Is it just like a general feeling of like depression and feeling like you're always getting everything wrong? Like, oh, I put the wrong outfit on and now I'm gonna be too cold or too hot all day, and like, just, you know, like little things that can make you feel like your life's falling apart. Is that what we're going for? I can understand that feeling, like little things derailing your whole day. Okay, we've got a video. We have a video and it looks like it's a snail eating lettuce. Was that squeaky noise at the end? Was that supposed to be like a lawnmower? Because he was like, you know, mowing through the leaf. That was a lot, but I appreciate it. My mum used to be a textile designer and she painted a lot of flowers, and she used to paint on these really big sheets of paper. And she was working on her desk the one time and then she heard this like little crunching sound. She didn't know where it was coming from. And eventually she found there was a snail chomping on the paper. So I don't know. Snails do like to eat, and they gotta eat, and it's valid. So I'm gonna give that one a valid out of 10. Snails, you're allowed to eat. He only left a little bit. Me, if bugs didn't exist. No, this is so true. Oh my goodness, this is so true. Yes, I've thought this so many times. Like, it just looks so nice, so peaceful, so idyllic. It's like, oh, I could just lie in the grass and I could read my book. But if you did this in real life, you'd be bug food. You'd be being chomped by that snail, you know? It just doesn't work. It's not realistic. I thought that one picture was a dog. It's actually a woman lying in the sheets. Just the way she had her arms, it looked like a dog's paws or something. I thought it was a Labrador. That fourth one looks really nice, really satisfying lying in that grass. But how many bugs are in her hair now? This is the thing. Just like being outside sometimes is overrated. But it's nice. It's nice to be in nature, and it does make you feel at peace, and it is calming. But then also sometimes it's not. So how do we do both? How can we have it both ways? How can we lie in the grass and not become covered in bugs? Because we don't just want to rot inside all day. Sometimes we do need to touch grass. We just don't want to touch the bugs. I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10. I've had that feeling so many times. Mail is crazy because it's like 99 pieces of actual trash. Yeah. And then one that if you don't respond, you're going to prison. I don't know. I feel like most important things are paperless these days anyway. Like, most of the mail is just trash. And since we moved to our new place, because over a year ago we found out that our landlord was selling our place that we'd lived in for 7 years, and then we had to move somewhere new, and we hate it. We still hate it. I thought it might grow on me over time and I'll be with my family, it'll all be fine. No, I hate it. But we had to be in this location because of my son's school. We had nothing to choose from, so we picked this place that's falling apart. It's had a million leaks and costs double what we used to pay. So yay. Yay, cost of living. Yeah, the junk mail we get at this place, it's too much. It's way too much. I wonder if I maybe did something at my old address to kind of opt out of junk mail. I don't know, maybe look into it if you get a lot of junk mail, and I'll look into it as well, and let's see if we can stop it coming through, because it's just so wasteful. And the amount of times I just get the same thing day after day after day. I'm like, I've already had this. Maybe they're trying to meet a quota. Who does it? Who drops it off? Is it Royal Mail? I don't know how it works. Domino's are one of the worst offenders. Constantly, leaflets about Domino's pizza. I don't like Domino's pizza. If I'm gonna get pizza, I'm not gonna get Domino's. So stop trying. And they have hardly any vegan options. All you see when you're looking at these takeaway things is the dwindling vegan options as they take them all off the menu, and it upsets me. I don't want to see your leaflet, If they want to do one of like all vegan options, then fine, then put it through my door. But no, I don't want to see it. The going to prison thing just makes me think of the TV licensing letters that you get, because I don't watch normal TV, so I don't have a TV license. In the UK, you have to pay, I don't know how much it is, over £100, I think, isn't it, to have a TV license to watch live TV and to watch some on-demand TV as well. They send you the most threatening letters, and like, we're going to come around on this day, but like, you don't have to actually let them into your house if they do come around, and they have to actually physically catch you watching TV in order for you to get in trouble. And it's just, I don't know, it's so dramatic, the post that you get from them, because we came to a new address and then you've got to go online and mark your address as, I don't need a TV license, I don't watch TV. And before you do that, you just get the most insulting letters. It's harassment. You get harassed by TV licensing. I wonder if there's anything similar elsewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, and we have another video which seems to be called Autism brackets explained by ducks. Okay.
Autism explained by ducks. Duck, wake up.
Comic Sans extra points.
Light, too much. Sound, max volume. Air, wrong texture. Brain, already buzzing. Duck say, is it always like this? Yes, always. Pond party later? Too many ducks. Too many voices, too many rules, none written down. Duck tries to speak, misses moment, tries again.
It sounded like those ducks were farting.
Interrupts everyone, stares. Duck goes silent. Brain say, you're weird. They hate you. Brain lie. Duck loves snails. Know everything about snails. Talk about snails for 42 minutes straight. Everyone slowly paddles away.
Oh, it's their feet on the floor making little pumpy noises.
Duck stim. Flap, flap, wiggle, wiggle. Feels good. Pond judges.
Just the autistic twerking.
Duck stop. Later. Duck replay whole party, frame by frame. Why did I say that? Why did I do that?
His little night hat. It's like the grandparents in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Why am I like this? Yeah, but actually, duck not broken. Duck just wired different. Some ducks glide. This duck zigzags. Still gets across the pond. Not too much. Not too loud. Not too weird. Just duck.
That was amazing. I'm so glad I was exposed to that, and the snail bit too. It has 4.3 million views and it's from a channel called Diploma Duck. So thank you for that. I really enjoyed it. Uploaded 3 weeks ago. Amazing. I kind of want to watch it again.
Air, wrong texture.
Air, wrong texture. I suppose I do actually feel like I'm very sensitive to humidity in a way that I think I've noticed other people around me are not. I'm like, oh, it's really humid. I feel like I'm breathing in water with every breath, and the people around me are like, I don't really get that. So actually, maybe I do kind of get that.
Too many ducks, too many voices, too many rules, none.
There's a pigeon in a cowboy hat. Is that what's going on in the background? He's just like judging everybody at the pond party.
Duck loves snails. Talk about snails for 42 minutes
I
straight.
don't know everything about snails. Could I talk about snails for 42 minutes? I'd want to. If someone else knew about snails and could talk to me for 42 minutes, I could do it. But I personally don't know enough about snails to talk about them for 42 minutes. Is that like a really serious confession to make when my whole Patreon is based around a snail? When we all live inside its shell? Probably. I'm sorry.
Some ducks glide. This duck zigzags, still gets across the pond.
So there's sometimes I think it's a bit of a struggle for us to get across the pond. And sometimes we need help. And sometimes that help is not there.
Not too much, not too loud, not too weird. Just duck.
That was amazing. That gets 4.3 million out of 10 because that's how many views it has. Very good. Masterpiece. Thank you, Doc. Well, that was wonderful. I really enjoyed all of your memes. Thank you very much to everybody who contributed over on Discord. If you would like to join the Discord server, then all tiers over on my Patreon get access to Discord, and then you just put your memes up on the Neurospicy Memes channel, and then maybe they'll end up in a future memes video. There's a load of exclusive content over on there as well, and then you get 2 new ones each month. And again, that's for all tiers. It's going to be an earring collection video coming out very soon. If it's not out already, might be out already. But I also recently did a reaction to Abby and her mom from Love on the Spectrum on the Impulsive podcast, Logan Paul's podcast, which was a choice.
Gotta take one of each Lunchable to Oceanside the Hey!
It's called Lunchly.
Whoa.
I could see the confusion, but we're a much better product.
I feel like I saw something about it being recalled for mold. I posted about it on the community tab and someone was like, oh, I watched it and I thought it was fine. I didn't really think it was fine. There were quite a few things said which I was like, and just the act of going on Logan Paul's podcast, like, I don't know, a choice. So anyway, if you want to know my thoughts and feelings, then that is over on Patreon. And I also have a podcast. I think I have over 24 hours of podcast to listen through, and then outtakes. I probably have getting close to 100, maybe like 90 outtakes videos. I have outtakes from most videos. Most of the time when I do a memes video, I have a few extra memes that end up going up over on Patreon. So yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff to enjoy over there. But of course, videos will keep coming on the channel too. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I've had a lot of fun filming this today. So thank you very much. And I'll see you in my next video very soon. Always nice to do a memes. I don't know, always puts me in a good mood. Bye!